Right, guys, welcome back to another podcast talk. I am joined by Daci, like last week, and I'm here with two more guests, Francesco and Claudio. Incredible names when it comes to the AS Roma world. How are you doing, guys?
All good.
Good,
Happy to
not
be
bad,
here.
yeah.
Nice to have you on.
I'm
It's a
doing fine.
First
pleasure.
time on the channel.
And yeah, well, look, we have a few things to speak about today. Of course, Tammy Abraham to BESIKTAS. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano. 20 million, very big deal for us. And other players being sold. I mean, we can get into that immediately. And I want to ask you guys what you think about the deal. Number one, first of all, out of surprise, yesterday evening, Fabrizio tweeted. What do we think?
I can go first. I think it's something that you have to be happy about in the moment. But when you look back, you spend over 40 million for him. He's talked trash about our team. Just I don't know. It's good in the moment for
I think
our
Claudio's
transfer
mic is
market
lagging a little
this
bit.
summer.
Yeah, you're lagging
but
a bit. Teeny bit.
Yeah.
Do you guys wanna, Francesco or Daci, do you wanna say something?
Yeah, I could go on before he switches.
Is it
I
is it
think
lagging
it
a
was
bit for you
like
guys?
it was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
lagging a
everybody
bit.
can
Yeah,
agree.
it was lagging a bit.
Um, and yeah, so
Go ahead,
basically,
Dutch, go ahead.
it's amazing deal. Yeah, I'll go ahead until you
Yeah.
fix it. And yeah, it's a great deal. But Masara is actually cooking, maybe. I don't know, and we will see. But anyways, this was out of nowhere yesterday. Obviously, this is great because if we take into account the last two seasons Tammy had, then this is a great deal. But the thing is, I'm not sure if it's 20 or 15. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
they're
thing.
actually yeah. And I mean, the time is up because it's literally 30th of the June of evening. So I don't know. Maybe they're debating about it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a
Yeah.
good deal.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same with my opinion about the situation. I mean, as we all know, Tammy Abraham, he did what he had to do with us when he came in with Mourinho. At the end of the day, I think his time with Roma was up. I think we all knew that. I don't think he could have done another year
For
with
sure.
Gasperini. As
I agree.
much as I think that he would have been a good striker with Gasperini, he probably would have been a good striker with Gasperini. But with the situation that happened in the last 2 years, Roma fans went a bit against him. Not all of them, because he hasn't been performing as well. And also, the boos in the Milan game, his reaction. I just wouldn't have seen it work out. I don't think it would have worked out. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know if it's 20 or 15 million, but I think that either or, like 15 or 20, I think it's always going to be a good deal, because if you look at his past 2, 3 seasons, I mean, it's only the name, Tammy Abraham, because he came from
Yeah.
Chelsea, he had a good season with Roma. If it was a random other striker, it could have been anyone else. I think he wouldn't have went more than 10 million, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that we sold him in the first place is good. Look, I respect the guy. I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
love him as well.
I love him because I see Tammy as he's kind of the striker of my first trophy. He's the striker of my first, season ticket at the stadium. So I have good memories with him. I think, however, he was a one season wonder. Under all effects, to be honest with you, he
Yeah.
had a great first season. I think part of it is also due to the levels of teams we played, because we were in the Conference League. In the group stages we played some absolutely farmers teams. But he bagged the goals when he had to. He bagged some good goals in the league. But yeah, I think Francesco had an interesting point, because I think Gasperini. I would have liked to see Tammy under Gasperini.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
wanted to say that I agree. Because if you don't take the last 2 years, if you just look at without this, if you compare the strikers we have from Dobik to Shumordo to Tammy, if you don't take that into account, you would like the chances of Tammy more, because I think he fits Gasperini the most. Because that was a good point actually. Now since it's sold and since we have this FFP, it's a good deal. But maybe you would if he stayed,
I
you would see it. Maybe try it out.
would this sound crazy? Would this sound crazy if I say that I would have rather got rid of Dovbyk? Does it sound crazy?
Oh, that's
Because
that's a
listen,
good
like
start.
I think yes, it sounds
I can
crazy.
it sounds crazy, but let me explain my point. So, in my opinion, I think that we all know Gasperini football. In my opinion, Tammy Abraham would have been a better striker with Gasperini football.
You know, I
That's
agree
just
on
my
that.
point.
I
That's
agree
just
on
my
that.
point. The only reason why I think we sold Tammy Abraham is because of him saying that he leveled up from Roma, the fans kind of shifting away from him, the booze. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. We spent 35 million on Dovbyk. Why would we sell him? We won't make any profit if we sell Dovbyk again. So I don't know, man. I think that I would have kept Tammy Abraham if I had to choose, but I do understand why we sold him and kept Dovbyk. It's gonna be interesting seeing Dovbyk with Gus, but I'm a bit scared because if Dovbyk doesn't do well and he doesn't start scoring goals, I mean we've seen strikers under Gasperini. They're all good strikers, all top two. Like they become beasts. Every striker under Gasperini becomes a beast, right? I mean, at the end of the day,
But they are
like if
certain type of players, though. Sorry,
yeah,
but they are
and Dovbyk is a different
yeah,
one. Dovbyk is a different
yeah.
type of player. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm a bit scared. It's a bit like Dovbyk is a different type of player, and I'm a bit scared to, involve him in the Gasperini football. I would have kept Abraham, but it's a good deal. Definitely a good deal, especially with the FFP and everything. 15 to 20 million. You can't say no to that.
Yeah,
I think we got an
facts.
offer of 20 from Zenit, right, for Tammy, or no?
Yeah, Zenit offered 20 initially, but he said no to the move, and then Besiktas came in. I mean,
think
to be
I
honest
can't
with
blame
fifteen
you,
him.
plus bonuses.
Yeah, like, can you blame him for saying no to Zenit though?
yeah, no,
He
you
went for
can't. You can't blame. I mean, to be
yeah.
honest with you, I kind of feel bad for him because after you see him after the first season with us, and you're like, this guy surely doesn't deserve
It's
to go to
just
either Russia or Turkey
it's the
after
end
two
of his career,
seasons.
Yeah.
I think, bro. Like
Yeah, it's a
he's
bit.
either gonna do really well or he's like probably gonna just become one of those known strikers who just play in
Yeah.
shitty team.
And to be honest with you, I actually don't think he was that terrible with Milan. I think in such a catastrophic season from AC Milan, Tammy Abraham was probably one of the best. So look,
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. The money's the good money. Overall, hit or miss. Somebody asked this in the fan forum yesterday. What would hit or miss? I mean, do you guys think he was a good move for the amount of money that we spent on him? What was it in 2021? I think we spent around 40 million on him.
40.
41,
Like
yeah, on transfer market it
41
says
million
41.
on Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
say
when
no.
you think about
Well, go
the
ahead.
situation, yeah, go. Okay. When
There
you
we
think
go.
about the
No, continue,
situation,
Francesco, continue.
okay. So when you think about the situation that we were in 2021, I feel like Mourinho wanted him badly. The Fredkins gave Mourinho the player that he wanted because Mourinho was a good manager, you know. So now looking at things, now things are different, you know. Like Tammy Abraham's level went down drastically. Drastically, it went down because he had a very good first season with Mourinho. Then in the second season, how many goals did he score? Like 10 with us. And then in the third
Maybe not
season,
even.
I think yeah, like he did one amazing season. Then he did the next two. They were like mid and then bad. No, because he did 3 seasons with us, and then he went on the fourth with them with Milan. No,
Yeah.
so think about the situation of like hit or miss. We got him for 40 million. He proved to be a 40 million. Like I think in 2021, if we sold Tammy Abraham, we would have easily made like 60 million of him. No, like we were like
Yeah.
I think we could have sold him for such a good price. But obviously, us, we wouldn't want to get rid of someone that had that quality
I'm a
because we
add there
wanted.
because Chelsea had 65 million release clause in the contract. I remember this very well in 2 years, and I think if he had another amazing season, they would just take Abraham back in that way. In the contract, there was the like 65 million release clause. I remember this. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they didn't
So
get him back because he had a bad season in the second one.
yeah,
If he had
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
season, they would take him back and we would sell him.
Yeah, and it's a pity. It's a pity because Tammy Abraham was a great striker in the beginning. I don't know what went wrong with him, honestly. Like, he started missing sitters. I think there was too much pressure on him.
I think
there
he's
was too much
very
pressure on the fans.
emotionally fragile. Can I
He's
say
very
so?
emotionally fragile, and it's sad because with Roma, you know, all the passion he had. That's why I had a
Yeah.
soft spot for Tammy Abraham. I had such a soft spot for him. He used to. What I remember, I was at the
Same.
stadium, right? He comes in front of us and he starts doing this to us. He starts doing
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Salzburg. You know, he was so emotionally attached to the club. So then, when he started missing sitters, everyone started attacking him, and he
And
became
he never
shit all
really
of a sudden.
recovered from that, I
He
think.
never recovered. He never, because he did like
Never recovered.
2 years playing badly, you could say, you
Yeah.
know, for his name. As I said, if his name was Shomurodov, if Tammy Abraham, the same player's name was Shomurodov, he would not go more than 10 million. It's
Yeah.
the same Tammy Abraham that won a Champions League with Chelsea. He got 20 goals like 3 years ago. So now at least we make 15 to 20 million from him. Because the past 2 seasons, you can't tell me he's worth 15 to 20 million after the past 2 seasons. You can't, you know. Same numbers as Shomurodov. So why would we sell Shomurodov for 8-9 million and Tammy Abraham for 15? You know what I mean?
Claudio, you reconnected. Do you think overall Tammy Abraham hit or miss? What do you think? Because I think it's a good debate. I believe that no one really has the correct answer. Because you could argue both sides.
Yeah, I mean, for the current transfer market we have going right now, we need the money badly. But then if you look at the purchase we made, what, 3-4 years ago, over 40 mil, it just not. We don't really spend that amount of money that often. So when you put in that investment, you're not expecting someone to talk shit about your team and tell them half of what you did. But
You're cutting off sometimes,
point,
Claudio.
look,
You're
Yeah, it's a
one
bit
of the best
laggy.
strikers we've had. That's horrible.
It's a bit laggy, mate.
Horrible. I'm gonna reconnect.
So basically, I'll take it on. I think it's definitely a miss because 41 million for Roma is like last time we paid it was Batistuta. So you and at that time I know it's different, but I mean we hardly ever pay. If you gotta take Roma into context because 40 million for a player is very big. So I think judging from that, it's still a miss. I used to love him, like he was singing with fans, going hands like this, just like Francesco said. But I think overall, when you rate this last 4 years, it's a miss because you have one great season, then you have the season turned horrible for like you never know for what reason. They were looking for to sell him, and he gets injured literally, so we cannot
Oh
sell him
Yeah.
yeah,
anymore. So
that
Yeah.
game, that
at last
game.
match day too, yeah. And then you have this bad
Yeah.
loan with Milan. I mean, for them it was not up to their standards, so I mean you cannot blame them. So I think overall it's sadly it's a miss because I used to love the guy, just like the rest of you said. Yeah.
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 Look, I think it's what Francesco said earlier is interesting. Going back to what I was saying before, I think characteristics wise, which is different from, motivation wise and everything. We know that Tammy's a very emotionally fragile player. I think he himself never
Yeah.
wanted to continue in Rome. But I agree with what he said before. I think if you get Tammy and Dovbyk and put them in front of Gasperini, characteristic-wise, I am
Yeah.
almost convinced that Gasperini would choose Tammy. He would.
Tammy. And I
He
feel
would.
like Tammy then after the Milan loan spell, he did realize that like he's not really wanted at Rome anymore. He realized I said it before, but after the whistles, man, like that was the main thing I think that removed Tammy Abraham's want to come back to Rome, in my opinion. Like at the end of the day, when you think about it, he was pissed. Like he was pissed. He Can you believe that this guy scored 2 goals against us and then did basically nothing with Milan? Can you believe that?
Yeah, he only. I was
Can you
when he
believe that
did
though?
this with the
Like it's
cup.
such
I was
a
Yeah,
actually
do you
there at
remember
San
when he
Siro.
do you remember when he got subbed off that game? The away fans in Milan booed him.
Yeah, I was there
and
at
he
San
went,
Siro. You remember
and
the
he
goal we
went,
had on Instagram before?
don't
Yeah,
boo me, I
went
lifted
like
a
this.
trophy with you. Which, look, I think Claudio said before, he talked shit. And I have a feeling there are a lot of Roma fans which say this, that Tammy talked shit, hired the bar. But to be honest with you, I understand them. But it's like,
I understand him too. He doesn't want to do his whole career at Rome. You know, he wanted to. He
yeah.
definitely wanted a step
This
up. He
seems
wanted
very
a step.
opportunist. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
Like
mean,
that's a good
you can't
point.
it
spit on the
does.
plate that you ate from.
I agree. That you're
But
completely right.
But yeah, exactly, you know what I was gonna say. Like I was thinking about it before I joined the live. I was thinking, I was like, what should I say about Tammy today in the live stream? And then I said, Tammy is the type of player that has too much of an ego for the game he plays. Tammy is
Yeah.
not that good. Tammy acts like he's a world star. You know, I love Tammy as I said, but he is not that good. He can't act like he deserves to go to Man City or Milan, taking a step up, and then he comes here, you know, speaking all this shit and he doesn't score more than 10 goals. You know, like now he's going to Turkey. It's sad to see because he had a lot of potential. When you look at him, he won the Champions League. I mean, he didn't really do anything in the Champions League, but he won it with Chelsea. Then he came to us to like bounce back up. He's gonna come with Mourinho. It was a loan in the beginning, no, right? He came for 40 million.
No, yeah, I think it was a permanent deal from the very
It
start.
was a permanent move. So he said, "Let me go to Roma. It's a bit of a downgrade from Chelsea, and then I do
Yeah.
good at Roma, and then I go to a better team." He saw that he was going to go to loan from Milan. Probably went to his plan. He played shit at Milan, and now he realized he's cooked. He realized that he's fucked now. He couldn't do anything with Milan except score 2 goals against us, score the winner in the Supercoppa Italia. It's just the truth, man. If you're a good player, okay, but you don't speak so much. You need to stand. You have to stay on your standard. You know what I mean? Tammy Abraham spoke too much, and you can't disrespect Roma like that. We like at least Dovbik. Dovbik is quiet. He stays quiet. Now, hopefully, Dovbik will do
Maybe a
something next
bit
season.
too quiet.
A bit too quiet, but you know, Dovbik is something else because he has his family and Ukraine, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not bullshit, sorry. Like, I don't mean it in a bad way to Ukrainians, but obviously, like, he has his own problems. He has his own things. So, like, that's why probably Dovbik.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I speak a lot of crap about Dovbik, but when you think about it, the guy really didn't do that bad. It's a
No, he
different
didn't.
league. It's more defensive.
Yeah, numbers wise, he
Not at
didn't
all.
do that bad. The problem is
I'm just scared that he won't do it as well with Gasparini. I'm just scared he won't do as well with Gasparini. That's why.
that also, but
I'm a
there
bit
was a
scared.
lot of big games. Like the guy was not moving. Like
Yeah,
when you
that's the
take a look
issue.
at the numbers for first season in a very difficult league, like it's okay. Like the numbers are not bad, even for 35 million. Like not bad, not great. Let's be honest, but not bad. But when you actually watch the games, this is where the warning is for me because like he was not there. We were playing with 10 players
Yeah,
sometimes.
but it's the same. It was the same with Tammy. You know, it was the same with Tammy. It was the same with Lukaku sometimes. Like you
No,
remember,
I
like
would disagree
the
because Tammy was at
strikers.
least running. Like he used to miss and
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
but at least he
yeah.
was
Like
running. Like
Shomorodov, like Shomorodov. Shomorodov still tries with big teams. He still tries. He still runs. He still shoots. Dovbik and Lukaku mainly in big games. They used to stay quiet. You know, maybe
yeah,
Dovbik a bit more than Lukaku. I want to reply quickly to Hao Huang Xuan. I never said anything bad. I love Tammy. My point is just that you know, at the end of the day, Tammy did act in the last year. In my opinion, he acted a bit too high compared to
yeah,
his
yeah,
level.
yeah.
I think that Tammy Abraham has to relax a bit with the ego. Because I wish Tammy all the best. As I said, I used to love Tammy. I still do. But you can't disrespect my club. He comes here, you know, acting like he did an upgrade and then he can't score more than 5 goals. I keep saying this, but it's true. If you're that
Yeah.
good, you
Yeah, yeah,
shouldn't be
yeah.
going to fucking
Yeah.
Besiktas, bro. If you're that good, you shouldn't be going to Besiktas. You'd have bigger clubs on you. He
I
was
think
supposed to
it's
go
like
Everton.
he doesn't talk shit much in his career. I think he thought that he would be trusted again
Yeah,
after
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
injury, and that's why he was kind of butthurt in that period of time. So yeah, but it was still
But
a
the thing
wrong
is
move
as
because
well,
I
yeah,
mean, he
yeah,
thought he was
yeah,
too good for Russian football, so
yeah,
couldn't give us the
exactly.
Yeah,
He thought
extra
he was too
five
but
good for
mil.
Russia.
I don't blame
Yeah.
him for saying no to Zenit though. I don't, because
yeah,
like
yeah.
realistically
Is there much of a
speaking,
difference?
Oh, there's
I
big difference.
yeah
You go to European championships at least.
yeah that's the thing, because Russian clubs
Yeah.
can't play in Europe,
They're banned from, so there's a big
And also, I
difference.
wouldn't think he'd want to go live in
and
Russia
I
with the
do
war.
think
You know.
yeah
Yeah.
that's the other
I mean,
and
compared
then I
to a
think
lot of other places, sorry, Samo. I mean,
no
he
no
was
go
going
go
to Saint Petersburg, which is and from the rest of Russia, you know, Sadly, unfortunately I'm a neighbor of Russia, so I know it
Yeah,
well.
it's a
So
bit.
compared from the rest of Russia, Saint Petersburg is like you would say at least it's livable. It's high to standard. So if we would send him there, it was definitely a best place to send him out of everything. But still, I think for the European Championships,
Yeah, and I
Besiktas is
also
definitely
think,
better. Please go
which
on.
it's a point to add. I think the Turkish league, compared to the Russian league, has a certain. I'm not gonna say prestige because I'm not gonna look like an idiot and say that the Turkish league has got prestige, but I don't know how to make it. Like I don't know how to phrase this. It's definitely got more interesting players. You know,
No,
you've
it's
got
definitely got
Mourinho
better
over
teams.
there. Yeah, it's got better teams. They play in Europe. I think Besiktas over Zenit, but it's definitely a big time. I think the comparison here is Tammy's career will be very similar to Zaniolo's. He decided to kind of burn
Yeah, I
himself in
agree. I
Rome,
agree.
also because the
Do you guys
fans
trust
didn't contribute.
giallorossi.net as a source or no?
Yeah, I
No.
mean they get their source. Yeah,
I mean, apparently there has just been an offer for Valencia for Hermoso. I think that they don't
Oh
want
yeah,
to
somebody
do
said that in the chat. Even Roma Press said it.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
for
that's
Pretty sure
Hermoso,
something
it's a
we should do.
loan.
yeah, that's
Oh,
the
it's a
loan.
it's a
loan.
loan. It's a
Oh
loan.
shit! Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't really do loans right now, can we? You know.
Nah.
I mean, apparently, I was seeing Sky. Um, it doesn't need to be till today. Apparently, we can still do these in the beginning of July, as long as of today we're having a lot of like not conversations, but like trattativa, capito?
Yeah, I heard
Like a
that
lot
too.
of yeah, like till the beginning of July. They can be done by July, but as long as right now we're showing UEFA that we are trying to get getting rid of as many players as possible. You know, like
I
in
mean,
my
who
opinion,
would you
for example.
guys? Who would you? Now that we've sold Tammy, Paredes is gonna go tomorrow. I think. How much money do you think we're missing?
I was actually counting the
What
other
is the
day, and
magic
I
number?
can go over this if you guys would like to.
The money is technically like we need 20 million in capital gains. The Tammy deal alone gets you 8 million in capital gain.
But
Paredes will
wait,
probably
sorry,
give you a
Around.
bit
Simo.
more.
Does
But
it
Yeah, yeah.
remain 8 now? Does it remain 8 now since it's not 20 and it's 15?
yeah, I thought it goes to
Because
3.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
like
because some people are saying it's not 20 but it's 15. Well, look, I don't know.
Fabrizio said it's 15.
Fabrizio Romano said
Said it's
Fabrizio
15.
said it's
Yeah,
15 plus
15.
add-ons.
yeah.
Well, I don't
So
know
it goes
then.
down.
Well, that's
I
why
mean,
that's why yesterday they said that to avoid selling Ndika and possibly even Angelino, then Massara and Roma are trying to sell the several youth players,
yeah.
and that's another debate that we can say. How do you guys feel selling all these youth players?
It's a pity in my opinion because you have Cherubini, you have Pagano. They are players that can give you like they're good. They're good players. They had a good long season in the Serie B. They played a bit with Mourinho. I mean, they played nothing with Mourinho, like 2 games, in like even less than 2 games. I think they just got subbed on. But anyways, like they were good prospects. They were good prospects, and in my opinion, I'm a bit scared that would pull another Calafiori, would pull another what's his name, that guy Fratesi. You know, we do this a lot. We give away the young players and then they blow up all of a sudden. I'm not saying this will happen with them. It's a bit
Yeah.
Calafiori
sad.
played a lot though. He
Who?
didn't have a
Yeah.
short season like Pagano or
Oh
Cherubini.
yeah. Yeah, it's true. But I mean, from what I've seen in the Primavera, because I watch a lot of Primavera games. Like last year, they were playing in the Primavera. The year before as well, they were two of the best players in the Primavera. You know, now they went on a loan to Serie B to get some more experience and like on a higher level in the Primavera. But still, man, they need game time. Like even Bouba Sangare, for example, we bought the guy for 1 million. What the fuck are we doing with him? You know, like what's like if you're gonna buy these young players, if you're gonna invest, just play them,
Yeah, but
man. You know,
I
you're
think it's
winning.
still only 16 or 17, right?
But you're winning 3-0 against Monza. Just sub him for the last 20 minutes. You know, like that's how they did it with all the young players. You know, that's how they grow. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
gonna
I
play
agree.
Bouba Sangare, if you're not gonna play him, he's gonna leave at like 18 until find the club that will play him for the last 20 minutes. Because even Chelsea does
I
it. You
s-
know, Chelsea has more players than us to put on the bench, to put on the field. They're winning 2-0, 3-0 in the last 10 minutes. They sub on a young player. That's my point. You know, like
Yeah.
We never do that because in the last 10 games, even more with Claudio, we only lost against Atalanta. There were a lot of games where we played against not lower division, but like lower table clubs who were winning like 2-0, you know, like sub on Buba Sangare, sub on someone young, someone, you know. They only decided to play Pizzilli, but that's how Pizzilli started as well. Pizzilli was getting subbed on in the last minutes and he scored
But
the
I
goals.
think Francesco, this is overall like problem in Serie A of trusting more younger players than in
Yeah.
Premier League or La Liga.
Definitely.
And I would love to see it because I mentioned this earlier in the forum that with Mourinho we had this connection between Primavera and the main team, and I think that's great. And
Yeah.
I'm missing this since then, so I would definitely love to
Definitely.
see it. Yeah, definitely subbing the younger
Yeah.
players for sure.
Carl, did you want
Literally,
to add
bro.
something?
I still think selling off whoever we need to comply with the FFP is definitely more worth than whatever you're gonna sell Indika for any low ball
Yeah,
for like
I
a
agree.
Yeah, no,
25
I
mil
would too.
or a
But
Yeah,
you
when
know
you
what, man?
compare it like
because
Because
that,
like
I
I've
agree.
I've
Yeah.
said this before, but if Indika was in a mid-tier Premier League team like let's say Brighton or something, he would not be worth
yeah,
30
he'd go
mil. He
for
would be
like
worth
yeah,
double if not more,
I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
also
especially for his
because
age.
I think it's also because teams which negotiate with us know that we need money, so they know that we will accept even a 30
Yeah.
million bid.
But
Yeah,
But
still,
yeah,
like
I
right
that's a
add
good
now,
point.
on.
Ndika's
it's the end of
not worth.
June.
I said this last week.
Yeah.
Ndika will not be worth. If we do sell him now that we've sold Tammy, I don't think we are gonna sell him. I mean, of course, if a big offer comes, we'll sell anyone. But I don't think now that we've sold Tammy and that we're selling a few youth players, the plan is to sell Ndika. I don't think that's the plan. But I'm just warning you, if we sell him, remember I said this, he will not be worth the amount of money that we get from him.
No,
He
definitely not.
won't.
But
No, definitely not.
that's also what I wanted to add on. You know, at the end of the day, I was saying we should not sub in the youth players because their value will go up. I mean, at the end of the day, now if we sell Cherubini, if we sell Pagano, if we sell Romano, I don't know if Romano even wants to leave, and that's something else I wanted to add on. If Romano
No, he
goes to
didn't. He
like Torino,
rejected this morning.
He
yeah.
rejected.
So
Yeah.
if Romano doesn't want to go to Torino or Sassuolo, why? Is it because Gasperini told him something? Is it because he's gonna play some minutes next season? Because if you think about it, if I was Romano, all right, Roma's a better club. I'd rather play at Roma, but if
But
someone
Roma
like
doesn't
Torino
give
and
you the
Sassuolo,
time
yeah, like at the end of
and
the
the
day, I want to play
chance.
some minutes. I want to play some
Yeah.
minutes. So if Sassuolo's asking to get me, there's a reason. They want to play me a bit of minutes. Why am I rejecting? Why? You know what I mean? There has to be a reason.
I'm just
Because
gonna
why
read
is he
this
rejecting to play
comment,
Vera?
and because I think it could start a good chat. Roman
Yeah, I
says
was looking at it too.
the problem with Dovbyk is if we don't sell him now, we're gonna sell him 2 times cheaper next year. Because every forward we're gonna buy this summer is going to perform much better, 100%. Are we gonna buy any forwards?
I don't think so.
I mean, we are because
I don't think
Tammy
we are.
left.
I don't think we are because we have Shumarodov.
But I
don't
think
so.
Shomurodov will
Or are you
leave.
gonna sell all three?
I think Tammy and Elder go, Dovbyk stays, and you have to get a second, which you need to try to get somebody who can higher the bar for Dovbyk.
Skamaka?
Uh-huh.
Scamacca can be an option.
I don't like
Definitely.
Scam. I don't like Scamacca. He's always
I don't
injured.
think Skamaka
Yeah.
can compete
He's
with
always injured,
Dovbyk
man.
like that.
He's always injured.
Because
I
of his
don't like
injury,
Scamacca.
but I think he has the
Yeah.
connections. I mean,
He does. Even with
loves our
Gasperini, he was
city.
really good. He was really good with Gasperini. Scamacca. It's
Yeah,
just a bit of a risk because how much are Atalanta gonna ask you to buy Scamacca for?
Yeah, no,
20,
that definitely
25.
depends a lot on it.
Exactly.
No,
So
Yeah,
the
that's
guy
right.
is
I
injured.
wouldn't
It's
do it on that.
25 million. You know, like
I
yeah,
honestly
exactly.
didn't know
That's
how
why.
much they would ask.
Yeah, that's why. Because realistically, the does for a lot. I mean, he won them the Europa League basically, right? You could say he was one of the main, like other than Lookman, you know, he was one of the main players in that squad that really did something for them. You know, like he was
Yeah,
the
but
main striker of Atalanta.
But he hasn't
would you
played in
guys
half a year.
would you guys say
Really?
the Skamaka
Oh
pulls up the bar
It's
though?
true. No, he won't.
He
Would
won't what?
sorry,
He won't.
would Scamacca
I don't think he would.
higher
Hire
the bar?
Would he hire the bar?
No,
No.
for 25
Compared
million,
to
I don't think
Dovbyk?
it's worth it.
No.
He could
No,
if as a fit Scamacca, like a
If it's
fit
Scamacca, yeah.
Scamacca
If
would
it's Scamacca, yeah. Yeah.
would push Dovbyk to second place.
Yeah, I think so, but not the Skamakov right now is not. fit
No,
enough
the
to take over.
Skamakov right now, no.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
my
no, a
point.
fit
But
Scamacca definitely would. Also
a fit
because he
Scamacca,
knows
yeah.
Gasperini. And Gasperini knows him. So Gasperini, a fit Scamacca would always be preferred to a striker which Gasperini still doesn't know. But the problem is that you
For that
won't
amount
get
of
a
money,
fit
you're just
Scamacca.
gambling.
No, but I
exactly.
wouldn't get Scamacca for 25. Bro is coming from, I think, 2 ACL injuries. We definitely don't need
Yeah.
that. So
No.
if
That's
with
why
a
I said, that's why I
discount,
said I wouldn't want him.
yeah,
That's
there
why I
are
said I
there are
wouldn't
better
want him.
second strikers. Somebody says John Duran in the chat, but I think John Duran is
I
going to
think he-
Fenerbahce.
Yeah, I think he is.
Hasn't Mourinho called him? I saw Fabrizio Romano tweet of Duran basically done deal to Fenerbahce. But yeah, the last thing which I wanted to add on the youth, selling the youth players, I won't say anything. Like, if Massara comes to me and sells Pagano and Cherubini to avoid selling Indica and Angelino, I can only clap. The issue
Yeah.
is, you need to be careful, because I'm pretty sure that it's illegal for us to ask 7 million for somebody who's never played in the league before. Like, that's the reason Juventus got that point deduction back in 2022, because they overinflated their capital gains. So it's good to sell these players, but you need to, don't let the guards see, because you will get investigated. That's my only issue with selling these youth players for like 7 million.
They are 7 million.
Yeah,
for
at least they
Romano.
rejected.
Yeah.
Romano 7 million. That's crazy. I don't know why they would even want.
Even
to buy
like
Romano.
Cherubini to Sassuolo for like 6 million. He can be a great player, but
No, Cherubini was good in the Serie B this season. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. He got some good. He did well. So, to be honest, I think 6 million is like a fair amount. I mean, we need to make our money too. If they're asking 30 mil for Wesley, if they're asking 28 for Lukumi.
oh,
mean,
I
at
would
the end of the
never
day-
spend 30 million for Wesley. Never.
Yeah, that's why. So if they're
Yeah,
asking
no.
that high, we can do the same. And if they want to buy them, they can buy them. You know, like fuck it. I mean, at the end of the day, like if they really want Cherubini and they're asking 6 million, why not? You know, other teams do it. So at the end of the day, he's proven to be quite good in the Serie B. Cherubini was like one of the best players in the Primavera last season. You know, he was like top 3 best players in the Primavera last season. And then they sent him on loan. De Rossi sent him on loan. Which was a good move because he needed some more game time, needed proper game time, up his game a bit. But yeah, 6 million in my opinion would be fair for Cherubini. How old is he? Like 19?
Yeah, it's probably a bit older, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So
Cherubini is
Yeah.
21. I just checked it.
21.
He's 21.
yeah,
You either break
21
through
is-
now or you don't break through.
21. Exactly, 21 is quite old when you think about it. I mean, last year he was in the Primavera, and now he's 21 years old. Isn't
Yeah,
that
no, you
silly?
definitely, like, if you don't break through
Yeah,
now,
like,
you,
If you
especially
don't break
in
through now-
in modern game when you've got your Lamine Yamal who break through at 15, 16 years old. I mean, of course,
Yeah,
I'm not
Pizzili is
comparing
actually
the
younger
two.
than him.
Yeah,
Pizzili
that's
is
the
actually
point.
younger
You
than
see,
him.
if
20.
I think if he doesn't
Exactly.
break through this season, he doesn't. He simply doesn't break through. But yeah, look, I think. Does anyone want to add any topic, any chat that we can speak about? Because I think we spoke about the players that could be sold to get this money from. We've got what, 6 hours until the capital gain 1st of July deadline comes in. Are we expecting any signings this week? Because of course transfer window opens tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we
I
need a
hope-
right
I
back
hope so.
really bad.
I
Yeah.
hope we get some signings this week. I want to be a bit entertained. The past 2 weeks were very dead.
What
It's just letting
what
go of
position
players.
would you guys prioritize as first signing?
Right back, no doubt.
Right back, yeah, right
Good
back.
point.
I agree.
we
Right back.
we can't play with Chalik and Saud on the right. It's just not
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
not
I
competent.
agree,
I
I
feel
agree.
like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I'd
agree,
say
I
right
agree.
back, third center back, and
Yeah.
another 10 would be our 3 priorities in the summer.
Even a midfielder, I think a midfielder is.
Yeah,
Like
I've
someone
been
to
hearing
put
about
Paredes.
this O'Reilly. I'm pretty sure you guys have
O'Reilly,
too. So,
yeah, of Brighton.
I
Yeah,
heard about it,
O'Reilly,
but
he
I
was
was
seems
great.
alright.
I was searching on his injury past, and he was very injured this season. wasn't he? Like, correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
think so.
That means
But
he
I
fits
was-
Roma right away. So what's the
Yeah.
problem?
For 15 million, I still think that's a steal. I
Yeah, I
wanted
think
him when I used
O'Reilly
to watch
is.
him at Celtic. He was
Yeah,
just
O'Reilly
I feel like he
was
would
one of the
fit
best players at
Gasperini really
Celtic.
well.
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
was one of their best players at Celtic. No.
Yeah.
He's that holding mid that you need, to be honest.
Yeah. Imagine O'Reilly and Kone, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And
You
I
know.
keep on saying this, but we need a Lookman player. And I saw us linked with Loriente
Exactly,
from
Sule.
Sassuolo.
What do you think about Sule?
For the
think Sule
last
would-
3 years.
Yeah, Sule, yeah, absolutely. But I think we need somebody on the left as well.
Oh,
You know, somebody like Loriente. Like I've seen us linked with him. He's not a bad name.
For
He's
years now.
cheap. And yeah, exactly. Every time
Yeah.
Sassuolo come back up, we're linked with their players. It's very weird that
definitely
nobody's
gamble,
been
like-
linked with Berardi. Yeah, he's that type of player you
Yeah.
need to add
I'd
that
definitely
electric
gamble
shock.
Loriente, man. He played really well last season in the Serie B. I know Serie B is definitely like much lower than the Serie A, but even in the Serie A, he wasn't that bad. He's fast. He's very fast. He's a
Yeah.
pace merchant. Loriente with Gasperini might do well, you know. I think he might do well.
Yeah.
He's
Loriente's
the
the
classic
type of
player
signing-
that he would completely revitalize.
Yeah. He's the classic player that Atalanta would buy like 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Classic Atalanta purchase, Loriente. What's his name again?
Boga.
The guy. Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Boga.
Yeah. Boga. Yeah. One of those.
Yeah.
I feel like Loriente is like one of those. You know.
Jorge says
think we could say-
Chilik
oh,
must
sorry.
go. Chilik must go. Yeah, we all agree on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
If he
Provide
doesn't
knowledge.
go, he can't be a starter. I cannot pull through another season with Chilik as a starter. And fair play to him, he played some great 3 months, these last few months.
Yeah.
But if you want this jump, if you want to actually win something, you cannot present yourself with Chilik starting.
We need
I
I
someone
think when
who
the
can
time is up,
cross,
the
like
player
especially
has
if
to go.
if you're
Sorry,
gonna start the
Claudio.
season with
Oh,
Dovbyk. Oh no, my bad. You go.
go on.
If you start the season with Dovbyk as our striker, then you sort of have to build a team around him. He's not like a Lukaku type of player who
I
like
agree.
will, do the
Yeah.
dirty work and let your team come up, and then you can also
Agreed.
score from like outside the box. But Dovbyk is kind of like static, let's say. Like you kind of need to feed him the ball in the box, and if you don't have a even Angelino can do that. You can put a really good, beautiful cross. But Selic or Saud, they don't
Even
provide
Saud,
much
man.
defensively either.
Even
They
South
just
has
have
to go as well. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
triangular
South has to go.
foot.
Unfortunately, I really like South. He's a nice guy. You know, I have that soft spot for him, but he's just not good enough, man.
No, he
If we
needs
want to
go.
get top four,
You
you
can't keep
might-
him
I
out
mean,
of
you guys-
pity. It's like
yeah,
Yeah,
you guys,
exactly.
yeah,
Like-
literally, like
He's
guys
like a
don't
teddy
really
bear.
he's literally like a
Saud
teddy
is
bear. He's like
literally a teddy bear. He's
Yeah,
like
you
a
just
teddy
can't-
bear that you.
you want to keep him there, but you don't want to play him. You want to just keep him there, maybe sub him on a bit, but yeah, I mean, yeah, as I said, I used to say this on the forum on WhatsApp. I used to always say, like, if we want to get top four, we need to get rid of half this fucking squad, man. Like, realistically speaking,
That's a
man,
big statement.
man. Let's be honest.
No, but
let's
it's
be
fair,
honest,
though,
let's be
it's-
honest. Come on,
Nah,
man.
that's
Like,
a big
we want to get top
statement.
four.
Can
We want
can
to
I
get
can I
Not
ask
half,
you?
but,
Can I ask you to?
half,
I'm not.
and
I'm not.
half.
I'm
Like,
not. I'm
I'll
not.
tell
I'm
you- I'll
not
tell you
criticizing
this.
you. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I'm genuinely curious to know six players, 7 players that you would sell.
All right, I'm gonna go on. The
I'll
one
write them
squad
down.
right
I'll
now.
write them down. I'll write them down.
Okay, 6 players that I would sell from our squad right now.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, okay. You can count the players that were.
I even made a
they're-
tier list before.
Yeah, I'll tell you the 6 players I want to.
You can count
get
the
rid of.
players that, like Tammy. You can count him because technically he's
Oh
still a
yeah,
normal
yeah.
player.
Then I can mention 10, bro.
Okay, go.
So Tammy Abraham, write Tammy Abraham down.
Okay.
Then okay, so Celik,
Yes.
Kumbulla,
Okay.
Salaheddin,
Okay.
let me see what there is. Darboy, we still have Darboy in our team. He's on loan.
Okay.
I mean, look at this. Cristante. I'd get rid of Cristante.
You're not selling Shimordo?
Yeah, I'm going up to strikers. I'm still in midfield.
Okay, my bad.
um, yeah, I mean,
Paredes,
there's
put
Dalewski,
Paredes there because he's gonna leave.
Dalewski, Pellegrini. I'd sell as well. Who else is there? Yeah, I mean, Cherubini's up here in the forward section.
Yeah, we have
Sol
10.
Buchan.
You've named 10. You
So we
passed
have
the
more.
test.
Sol Buchan, Shomurodov. Man, there's so many players who are
But can
shit.
you
We
replace them?
can't get top 4. I
Good
mean,
point.
we definitely can. We definitely can replace them. We definitely can. If you sell all these players, you're gonna make some money. I mean, even if you sell them for 5 million each.
It just seems like everyone's 20 mil or over. I mean, unless Gasperini finds
Yeah.
us some
I think
profit.
you can
Gasperini, that's
replace them, but not in one transfer session.
No, not in
Yeah.
one. No, not in one.
Yeah, and you gotta start somewhere rather than
You gotta
because
start
if
somewhere,
we
though.
yeah, so if we don't sell Chelik right now, even if you say like okay, he may be a third option, somebody will get injured, something this and this, and he will still find his way back somehow in the starting lineup, and then you wonder why we didn't reach UCL another season. So I'd rather sell and take a risk and put a Primavera player or somebody else on the bench.
I'd rather
I'll
put a
definitely do
Primavera
that.
player, definitely as well. I mean,
Yeah,
first of all, we need an
Yeah.
under 23 team. We need an under 23 team that plays in the Serie C. That's something I hope Gasperini and Ranieri
Oh, yeah,
tell
yeah.
the Fredkins to do. Because if we do
I
that,
agree.
we can create talent. We can create so much talent. Because in Rome, you can't tell me like there are a lot of Roman young like guys that play good football. Like it's not like Rome has shit players. You know, like Rome can produce talent as it has produced talent in the past. If you do an under 23, you can invest in some players in the under 23. You know, like for example, Felix Afena's playing with the under 23s of Juve, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
youth player that we sold.
You
I'm just
know-
going to read this comment and then I'll get back to Francesco. Nabil says, I saw some highlights from Ismail Kone and he's such an amazing player. He is a very physical player. He's got amazing skills and runs a lot. He's young, but I still judge to exchange. No, that swap deal won't happen. That
I
swap
hope
deal
it
won't.
doesn't.
That
I
swap
really
deal
hope it
There will
has
be
to
riots if that
one
happens.
of the most
Yeah.
bullshit
Trigoria
Di
is
Marzio's
That's
ever
just-
came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
it
don't know
won't
where
happen.
that even came from.
You know,
Ismail
another
Kone is
interesting
valued
player.
9 million on transfer market. Sorry, he's literally valued only 9 million.
Yeah, no, it won't happen. Doesn't make sense. A player that I will actually no. Let me ask you this question because it's a nice question. We all know the Olympic Lyon situation, relegated to League Two, a team full of talents and a team which will have to sell players this summer. One player from Lyon that you want. I know Dachi's
There is
answer. I know
there's a
Dachi's
striker I would
answer.
take.
Fellow
I want
Georgian
this
Mika
striker.
Dautse.
Mika Dautse. I want him as well.
How do you
For sure.
pronounce it? Mika Dautse.
Mikau Tadze, just like how you read it, pretty much. Mikau
Mikau
Tadze.
Tadze.
Let me ask you this.
Tadze.
Because I've always wanted to ask a Georgian how to pronounce Kvaratskhelia.
Okay, we say Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia.
That's it.
Kvaratskhelia.
You used it. See, so Kvaratskhelia. But
Kvaratskhelia.
the way you say it is totally fine, by the way, guys. That's also good.
Okay. I'd get Malik Fofana as that
For sure, for
Lookman
sure.
type player. Very good player. Yeah.
Ooh.
I like Fofana,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
good.
That's a good
Yeah.
call, actually, yeah.
Are we even with Tammy Silver, the financial for play? Maybe not even fully, but we won't miss much to get it done. Yeah.
I counted this morning.
So-
I think we're missing about 6 million. So there is still some, but there was some legal dispute. I've heard some kind of news, and the Calafiori bonus, resale bonus. By the way, that's another one
Oh,
that we are obligated to.
10 million.
I mean, we yeah. So yeah.
Wait, so sorry for interrupting, but if we sell Romano, let's say we sold him for like 6-7 million, would have that counted as all capital gain, like since it's homegrown, or no?
For sure, 100% capital gain.
technically, yeah.
Because it was your
that's
player,
where,
you-
yeah, but that's where the problem I said before comes in. Like, it's all good in fairyland to sell whoever you want for 7 million, but there are some things that you have to respect. Like, I don't think Massara can go, I want to sell Cherubini because I need money. Give me 8 million for him. Like, you can't. I understand he's got talent and he's 21 years old, but he's not
Yeah.
played 1 minute in the Serie A. So that's where you have to be careful. And I'm saying that because, you know, the Lega Serie A hates us. And I'm also saying this because this is the reason Juventus got that point deduction in 2022, 2023, whenever it was. It's because they overinflated their sales. So there needs to be a criteria that you base yourself around. But
That's
yeah.
why we need an under 23 team, man. That's why we need an under 23.
Exactly.
That's why we need an under 23 team. Because you'd have a whole new squad, a whole new bench, players that you can buy for the under 23 team, under 21 or whatever, you know.
I'm
It
sure
would have been great.
Gasperini
It
will
would-
say. I mean, Gasperini is the reason Atalanta created an under 23, so he will definitely
yeah.
push for it.
Definitely.
yeah.
It would be great. It would be really good. Even Milan have one, Juve have one. Juve next gen counts as an under 23,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah,
So
that's
I don't
exactly
see
Yeah.
why we shouldn't. Yeah, like if we do one of those, like I think Sule came from there and Bangula came from there. I mean, the talent you can create on the 23 team is mental, and you can sell. Like they sold Sule to us for 30 mil. Maybe now he goes for a bit more, but that was the problem of Giuntoli. Giuntoli made that mistake. He did the mistake with Huijsen. He did the mistake with Sule. You know, so that's on him. But realistically, if there was someone with a bit more competence as the sporting director of Juve, they could have sold Huijsen for much more. They could have sold Sule for more as well. So
The Huijsen was dry loan, and it will forever be a soft spot in my heart because even at that time I was like,
yeah.
pay whatever they ask for right now. If they ask
Yeah.
for
I
20 mil,
remember
I
his
was literally
debut.
like, that was
Yeah.
already be my like soft spot because I used to like him a lot and
I
definitely
remember
hurt a
Huijsen's
lot that we
debut.
couldn't keep him.
Everyone was in love with Huijsen in Rome. I remember his first game that he played in Rome, and he had a really good first game. I don't know if you guys remember it. His first game, he did like a really good clip. Like
And
it
then
was
the
so
derby
Was
good.
it like in January
Yeah, every game.
against?
It
I
was
think
at
it was
home.
against.
It was at home.
It was
got
against
subbed in, I think.
Atalanta.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
It was against Atalanta. Yeah, it was Jose's last home game.
Yeah. And he played a good game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
then
guys,
wasn't
we're
it Pinto
approaching the
who took him
50
to-
minutes. No,
Oh,
sorry
yeah.
for interrupting.
I was
No,
gonna say,
finish.
Wasn't it Pinto who took him to Bournemouth then, or no?
Yeah, Pinto
Pinto,
took him to
Thiago Pinto.
Bournemouth. Yeah.
Exactly. So Pinto brought him to Roma, and he saw his talent, and he took him to Bournemouth. You know. So,
Yeah.
fair enough. Can't blame the guy. It's a smart move.
Do
Yeah,
you guys want to
smart
add
move, it's
anything
amazing.
else? A question? If you've got any questions,
I
and
would
then we'll
say
end
we
it.
could talk about if it's for it to be closest to the subject of today's last 5 minutes. We talk about like what's the other striker if we sell what's it called Shomorodov and now we're selling to Abraham. Who would you bring? Like what would be
Oh,
the
we can
name
do
for
that.
you?
Because
Need other strikers. If
That
you
one-
want,
the
if
one
you
I
of
would
want.
the
do.
Georgian
Yeah,
I
we
would
can
do
do
like
that.
you said. Mikael Tadze.
Mikotau's as well.
Okay.
I would say that.
I'm glad we agree.
Yeah.
But there's also
I need
Jonathan
2
David
minutes.
on free.
Nah, but that
Jonathan
won't
David will go
happen.
to a better team.
Jonathan
Yeah, he'll go
David
to a
will
better-
only come if you sell Dovbyk.
Yeah,
Like he won't
and he'll
come
go
to
like-
be a second striker.
Second
You need
Yeah,
somebody who
exactly.
realistically
Yeah.
accepts to come here initially as a second striker. Then of course he can knock Dovbyk down and anything, but initially with the investment that we've spent for Dovbyk, I think you need to look at somebody who comes in as a second striker. Yeah, Mikael wouldn't be bad.
But would he accept second striker Mikotauze? Because
That's a
thinking
good
about it,
point. Very good point.
There's a lot of clubs that want him, right? So, I mean, he's already coming to an Europa League team when probably there is a Champions League team on him. Second of
I
all,
wouldn't
mean, it's
mind.
true we have-
I wouldn't mind
him
I will surprise you here, but I'm all for experienced players. Alexander Lacazette as second striker, I would take him every day of the week.
How old is he?
Like an
He's gotta be
experienced
32,
beast.
I think.
32 is perfect. Fiorentina got Dzeko at what, 38?
Yeah,
He's
that's
34
still
actually.
He's 34. I would get a Lacazette player as a second striker every day of the week. I would much
But
rather
it's
get
said that he's very toxic in the locker room, so I don't know.
Would you?
No,
Don't you think
well, then.
Lacazette would be like a Doumbia, though, like a Doumbia?
I've always
Yeah.
seen Lacazette as a good striker. Of course, the
He
age
is.
is something
He
to
is.
consider.
But it come here for his money and retirement. Realistically, it come to Rome and it just enjoy Rome.
Kind of
He'd
like
pull
a
Hummels.
Hummels.
Yeah.
That's the only
Hummels.
problem.
He'd pull a Hummels. Yeah, like I don't think it take it that serious if he had to come.
No, and I don't think
I don't have
Gasperini
any.
would want him. I'm just
Yeah,
that's
Somebody
just
in the
my
chat,
take.
sorry guys. Somebody in the chat asked, could Roma do a deal for Vlahovic? And I mean, even if you could with that high wages and his
Oh, I
bet, would
would.
you take it
It's
realistically?
not worth
I
it.
won't, to be honest.
I,
Yeah.
I would.
I
I
don't.
would.
I don't think
You
I
would?
would. I don't think
Okay.
I would either.
But I would sell Dovbyk.
Yeah, if you sell Dovbyk, I'll take Vlahovic. But if you don't sell
There,
Dovbyk,
yeah,
Won't you
there, I
take
wanted
like
to
8
say
mil a
that.
year?
Yeah.
Sorry,
$8
Claudio?
a year
not
he
sure.
takes.
He makes like what, 8 million a year?
Yeah. And he's a bit of a like prima donna. He's a bit of a whingy
Yeah.
character.
Oh, the Vlahovic earns more. He's the most earned in the Serie A. That's definitely more than 10.
Yeah, no,
there you go.
then no.
Last question. What do you guys
It
think
won't be
about
warranted.
Baldanzi?
I'd keep
Because
him.
I've heard
keep
very
Baldanzi.
mixed opinions about him.
I would say one thing.
He's-
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
If with Gasparini is coming, and I love Baldanzi, but if with Gasparini is coming, we're saying, we're doubting even if Dybala will have a good season, then I think Baldanzi should just go just for his own sake. Because even if the conversation is about Dybala, if he will fit or not, I think Baldanzi should just go for his own sake. That's my opinion. And I like
say that
Baldanzi
if
a
we
We
lot.
get
can
a good offer.
incentivize them. If we can incentivize them through like, I don't know, under 21 or like some competition, just have them like show off or get a few goals there. You can definitely get them in like, sell them in like winter if you can't sell them now. But I don't know. There's
Yeah.
many options. I just don't think he's gonna get much space next season.
I'm mixed on Baldanzi because going back to what we said before, everybody looks at Baldanzi as a young player, but look at how old is Baldanzi? Baldanzi's
23,
like
I
Should be
think.
20.
Or
I'll tell
21.
you right. 22, just turned 22.
22. He is young. I'm not saying
So
he's
he's not a
young.
kid anymore. He's young, but
Yeah,
not
that's
a kid
that's the
anymore.
point. What I was saying with Cherubini before. You either break through now and do the season of your life, or your value will drop. He needs a peak, and I think I'm not sure he can reach that peak in Rome when you've got Dybala, Soule, and Pellegrini will stay because nobody will buy Pellegrini this summer. Gasperini can relaunch him. I want to give him another chance. I think he's a very talented player, but
Even me, I want to give him another chance as well.
He's done bad
Yeah, but
last
Gasperini
season,
doesn't.
honestly. I
He
don't-
doesn't really like this free roam 10 type of players. He doesn't really favor
Yeah.
them, guys. That's why I fear for him.
Icardi. Big Sir Holy says, would you guys take Icardi? No.
No.
I mean,
No,
no.
no, never.
And on
heard
Dobbik,
Roma
I'll
can-
just say one thing: if we receive a 35 to 40 million offer, so the same, which won't happen by the way, but if we do, we should sell him if we get the same price that we
Dovbyk?
bought him for. Yeah, for Dobbik, yeah, we'll definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be the first in line to want this. I'll get a cab for Dovbyk to go.
Okay,
I'll buy it for.
It's
him.
harsh.
If-
It's
if
harsh,
we-
but you just.
It won't happen though.
Yeah.
That's my point. Because at the end of the day, this is why I don't really want Dovbyk, because we're not gonna get an offer of 35 million. We're not even gonna get an offer for 25 million for Dovbyk, in my opinion, because I think that Dovbyk hasn't proven himself enough this season. He's scored the decisive goals, but he hasn't done what Roma's used to in terms of strikers. Realistically,
I think he's being asked. I said this so many times in match reactions, so I'm sorry if I'm repetitive. But I think we're asking him to do something that he can't do. And that's the issue when... Because Dovbyk came and everybody on social media was like, he's the new Dzeko,
Yes,
Dzeko.
exactly.
And everyone had Dzeko in their minds when looking at Dovbyk. Dovbyk and Dzeko are probably the most different striker prototypes
Yeah.
that are out there. Dovbyk
They
is a
probably
little box
see a
striker.
team player, the same height.
Exactly.
and
So you're asking
and they-
Dovbyk to do something that he's never done before. He can't do, and he will never be able to do. And because
But would you really
you've got
build
Dzeko
your
in your
team
mind.
around Dovbyk? Would you really build a whole squad around him? Because I'd
Oh,
rather
hell
build a
no.
squad around
Hell no.
Kone. I'd rather build a squad around Kone, Indika, Sule, Svilar. I'd rather build a squad around them. As Claudio said, if you want Dovbyk to perform, you need to build a team around him, which will serve him.
No, of
Which will
course,
serve him.
if
I'm
40
not
million
doubting
come
that.
through,
Yeah.
40 million
If
come through,
40
I'll
million
sell
come
him.
through,
But if it's less than what you spent, no. You need to give a sense to the
The
investment and gamble
The
it
team
this
built
season.
around the Dobik is the most non-Gasperini team you could
Yeah.
ever imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, literally,
Definitely not the one
literally.
you
I think
enjoy watching as well.
I think even if
Yeah.
he has a still, I mean, even if he still has a bad season next year, I still think you can sell him for probably like 25 mil, maybe.
I hope so, man. I really
But
hope so because
All we can really do is cross our fingers and just
Yeah.
we've
trust this
fucked up
works
a
out
lot of
because he
deals
won't
in
be
the
sold.
past.
He needs to get the
Yeah,
Gasperini drugs in him, and then
Yeah,
he'll
yeah.
have a good
that's
Hopefully.
the
season.
only chance. Yeah.
yeah,
Right, guys, I think we can end it. It's been 55 minutes. We're running out of
Perfect.
topics. Hopefully, we'll
It's
have
been
a
a
few
good
signings
live.
this week. Yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. We'll do more of these, so it's not the last time that you will see these faces on the screen. Hit the like, subscribe, and I'll catch
Yeah,
you
hit the
next time. Bye bye.
Ciao,
See you guys.
guys.
It was a
See
nice
you.
one.
thank you for having me.